announcement for y'all that are coming onto this page because I could see now, like, so somebody just left a comment in the comment section, and I want to read it. So I'm gonna get out my tablet because I want to read this bitch. Not read the person. I want to read this comment. We about to we about to have a little topic here. So where is it? Because I entertains it. Y'all gonna get attention from me. I got time for you. I'm dedicated. Your voice will be heard here. We will not erase your narrative. We will not erase your voice on this platform.
Since I ain't been out there in the
So this
streets,
has been my third live today, and this not the one. Okay, this is it. Okay, I can't see. I guess I can't see it on here. I wanted to read this person comment. I cannot see the comment, but I sure responded. Where is the damn comments? It say 5 comments. It won't let me see it on this one. Anyway, I want to say this because I can't find the comment. I do not like how this tablet be. It say 5 comments, but it won't let me see all of them. Anyway, I'm kind of plucked because I really wanted to read that comment. I am not a black advocate. I am not a LGBTQ advocate. I'm advocating for people who can relate to me. Like people who resonate with my point of view, people who connect with what I'm saying. I have been homeless. I have been to jail. I have lived with HIV. I am a part of the trans community. I have experienced sexism, misogyny, racism. I've experienced homophobia, transphobia. I have experienced so many different things that I don't have the luxury to pick a struggle. Addiction, prostitution. I don't have the luxury to pick a struggle. I don't. I have experienced so many different phobias, so many different forms of hatred. So I've witnessed so much self hating. I've witnessed so much of it. I don't have the luxury to say, oh, these my people right here. That's why I've been trying to create my own tribe. So if you're going to get uncomfortable about things that I'm saying because I'm not jumping on a bandwagon and I'm not parakeeting what you want to hear and what makes you feel comfortable and what makes you feel safe, respectfully, get off my page. Because we played a whole tape over here. I literally told you, I literally said, I'm not rooting for everything that's black. Because everything that's black ain't rooting for me. I'm not rooting for everything that's trans. Because everything that's trans ain't rooting for me. I'm not rooting for everything that's gay. Because everything that's gay ain't rooting for me. I'm not rooting for everything that's a woman. Because everything that's a woman ain't rooting for me. I stand with those who stand with me. And if your loyalty is shook and you ready to jump ship and unsubscribe the first time that I say something you don't like, bye, bye. I don't need you on my page. I don't need you here. I don't need your flaky ass here. I don't need your flaky ass on my page. Get your flaky ass off my page. Bye, flaky. Bye, sometimey. Bye, iffy. Bye, weakest link. Bye bye. Bye bye. Das vidanya. Aloha. Avida Zane. Buenos nachos. Adios. Vamos. Period. You will not hurt my feelings. You will not hurt my feelings. Because if I did one, if that's what you got out of this video, everything that I just said in that video, if all you heard was me giving kudos to Candace Owens and all you heard was me going against my people, you don't have the intellectual capacity to be loyal. And I would rather you illustrate that now than later. Because trust me, as time goes on, I'm going to say things that are going to test the loyalty of people who claim that they're a purple one. Oh, your loyalty gonna be tested. And it's not intentionally. That's just how I'm built. I'm going to say things that's gonna test your loyalty. So I would rather you show, I would rather for the holes in the boat to show themselves now so that we could patch up the leaks, get rid of the holes so that this boat could stay afloat. So if it's a leak, remove yourself. Remove yourself now. Because I'm not going to sit up here and pretend I think a certain way so I can have a bunch of flaky people on my page. See, I've studied other content creators. I've studied other people on this internet, and they have a whole bunch of fake people. They have a whole bunch of fake subscribers, a whole bunch of fake loyalty. And the quickest way to find out who really loyal to you is for a situation to happen and you speak your mind and you see. Because it's one thing to say, you know what, I don't agree with you. Let's talk about that. But if you hear one video, I've never said anything positive about Republicans. You've never heard me say anything positive about the Republican Party. So because I don't agree with the Democratic Party, you have a problem with that. You've never heard me get on this platform and give praise to the Republicans. You've never heard me do that. She said she would have referred for me to say I was a Trumpster. Let me tell you something. I do respect the Republicans more because I don't have to wonder what they're doing. They do it in our face. The Democrats, you don't find out what they did until they leave office. That's when we get that tea. At least I know what the Republicans doing real time. And I don't get hit over the head with it after they done already done it. But I don't support neither party. Now, if you want me to pretend like I think a certain way, then you're not a real supporter If I got to tiptoe around my beliefs and how I feel and my thought process in order to appease your feelings, you're not really here for my truth. You're here because you want me to create a truth that's palatable for you, that's digestible for you. Beat it. Bye bye. Bye bye. Let the doorknob hit you with a good goddess spit you. Cause I'ma say a lot of things that's gonna rub you the wrong way. People are not listening to me when I talk. I said I don't mind you seeing me as the villain if it helps you to see things from both sides. I've literally said that. I've said I'm not rooting for everything black. I've literally said that. Are you listening to me when I talk? I said becoming purple. That means that I'm trying to move past the constructs of being man or woman, black and white. I don't want to stay in this place of arguing over race. I don't want to stay in this space of arguing over gender. I don't want to live there anymore. I'm trying to move past that. And so if you're not trying to do that work, then what I'm saying is going to sound wrong to you. If you're not even remotely prepared to do that kind of work, then get off my page. This page is not for everybody. And in order to come to a conclusion and to fully understand, you can't just listen to the people that agree with you. You also have to listen to your ops. You also have to listen to the opposition. How are you going to prepare? How are you going to plan? How are you going to strategize if you can't hear your ops? Your ops are creating an opportunity for you to grow, for you to be challenged, for you to expand in your consciousness, for you to expand in your awareness. If you're not prepared to do that work, get off my page. I'm not going to lose a wink of sleep. So I'm letting y'all know now. If you see that video and you think you expecting me to be the black advocate and to say everything that black people want to hear, if you expecting for me to be the LGBTQIA advocate and for me to say everything that the LGBTQIA want to hear, you got me fucked up. Because I have been blackballed by both of the communities. Black people have gatekept me out of opportunities and out of situations because I was queer, because I was trans, because of my history with drugs and sex work and my lack of formal indoctrination. And I meant that. Not formal education, formal indoctrination. Because I have not been formally indoctrinated, I have been um, left out of spaces, gatekept out of spaces. And the same thing has happened to me in the LGBTQIA community. And I'm glad, I'm thankful for it. I used to be mad about it. I used to be bitter. I used to be upset. I used to feel away, but now I don't. Because it has given me the freedom to find my own voice, uninhibited, and not confined by worried about what they thought. Like Miss Baby said in Frozen, the cold never bothered me anyway, bitch. The cold never bothered me anyway. So, with that being said, if any other of you wanna, if anybody else wants to unsubscribe, move out of the way so that the loyal people can come in, so that the true purple ones can come in, so that the true people who are going to be supported to these conversations, because I don't edit people out. Like, you could have came in the chat and said that. You could have came in the chat and you could have stated your opinion and it would have went on record. You would have been heard. Hey, I am that I am. You would have been heard. That's the thing. That's where I'm different than a lot of people. I'm not gonna silence your voice. I would have read the comment on right here, right now. So you thought you was doing something when you said that you said you was unsubscribing. I know it's gonna be a lot of you flaky ones that's gonna be giving that. And so I wanted to do this PSA now. I felt like I needed to address this now. I love getting ahead of things. Because again, I'm going to say a lot of things that's going to rub people the wrong way. I was one that agreed with Kanye West when he said slavery sounded like a choice. I agreed with him. I agreed with him. And I got called a coon for that. But if I'm a coon, I'm doing a horrible job. Because I thought coons were supposed to have money. I thought coons were supposed to be successful. Bitch, how the fuck you a broke coon? I'm just a person that believes we always have a choice. Sometimes the choice may not be easy because the choice may be death. That's what them white folks when they came over here and got this country, they said, give me liberty or give me what? Ain't that what they said? Give me liberty or give me what? So how slavery wasn't a choice. The colonizers said, give me liberty or give me death. Give me my freedom or give me death. But slavery wasn't a choice. Massa said, give me liberty or give me death. So you mean to tell me the colonizer knew it was a choice? Make it make sense. The math isn't mathing. The math isn't mathing. So I know it might be hard to hear. You might not want to hear it. A lot of us we be, oh, I'm so tired of seeing this happen to black people. I'm so tired of my people going through this. Child, you just want to complain right now. You gonna get your ass up and do it all over again tomorrow. And no one's judging you or condemning you for it. But don't try to make me look like I'm a sellout or a coon or is something wrong with me because I'm playing the whole tape over here. That's what y'all don't like about me. I wasn't there then to say slavery was a choice. However, today I feel like most of it is by choice because there's too much info out here not to be in slavery. We can we can simple we can simply stop doing it. I think that there's always a choice. We never not have a choice. If you're not living, if you lived in those times, if massa wasn't standing over you 24 hours a day, you had a choice. Maybe you didn't want to make that choice. Maybe you felt like you didn't have a choice, but you always have a choice. Kill yourself. That's why they gave us the Bible and told us that suicide was a bad thing. That's why they told us suicide was wrong, because a lot of the slaves were probably killing themselves. That's why they needed to give us that religion. You always have a choice. I don't need to be back there to know if I have a choice. Death. I'm an autonomous being. I can take my life if I want to. It's my life. If I don't want to be a slave, if I don't want to serve someone, if I don't want to get beat every day, if I don't want to be mistreated and hung and raped, death. But they gave us the Bible and told us that that was wrong. We can't make excuses. That's an you know what I'm saying? That's an excuse. It's programming. We are programmed to believe that suicide and killing ourselves is wrong. That's what they gave us that book for, so that we would be slaves and we would submit and we would accept slavery. I always feel like I would be dead because I'm too stubborn and is the reason we're born doing certain right. Now I could agree with that. Harriet Tubman did say she could have rescued others from bondage, but they didn't know they were slaves. And a lot of them was okay with it. Too many of us want extra biscuits. I love you, sister. Cause you gonna get straight to the point. Too many of us want extra biscuits and the white man's used boots. Oh, trust me, I'm with you all the way, but I like to look at things. So I do too. But if we looking at it from all sides, we can't leave out death as an option. Like when Kanye West said slavery sound like a choice, there were people who felt like they did not have a choice. And I don't want to erase the people who felt like they did not have a choice. I don't want to erase the people who felt like they did not have a choice. I understand feeling like you did not have a choice. But if we're being totally honest, there's always a choice. It may be one that you don't want to make, but there's always a choice. There's always a way out. It may not be the one you want to take. And I'm not, This is I'm not a black advocate. No one no one can ever say that I don't love being I love the skin that I'm in. I love me. That's why I wear my hair. That's why I ain't changed my nose. I wish I could be darker. I wish I could be darker. But I have seen a lot of ugliness amongst people who have this skin complexion and are darker. There are a lot of beings who look like me, who look similar to me, who hate themselves. And these are the ones that y'all have at the head of the movement. And we have internalized a lot of self-hate because we have people like that at the head of our movements who saying black this and black that, and they don't mean it. They say it to get everybody's energy and to get everybody to come together, and then when it's time to capitalize, they right there going to the bank. And how is your circumstances changing? You done all that rallying, you done all that marching, you done gave all that support and all that energy. How have your circumstances changed? Now you have a new idol. Now you have a new celebrity. You've helped someone else to gain more power who does not give a shit about you. That's what you got to show for it. They said all the right stuff. They did all the right things. They checked all the boxes. And now they're sitting in a position of power and they're paying you dust. Mm-mm. That's not me. That's not me. That's not my spirit. I'm going to say what's on my mind. I ain't trying to win your favor. What I'm trying to do is speak my truth. If it resonates with you, good. If it doesn't, I am not so arrogant and so narcissistic and so egotistical that I will not hear you. What triggered me and made me do this live was that you didn't even attempt to say, you know what? I'm going to have a conversation with, this person in the comment section before I unsubscribe. This is literally, I don't think I've ever seen them comment before. I think I may have seen I think I may have seen their name pop up one other time. I'm gonna have to go through my videos and see if I've seen them comment before, but I barely seen you engage with me and come out to say something negative. You come out to leave a long negative comment talking about bye Felicia because I gave it like I'm not here for the fickle subscribers. I'm not here for the fickleness. Cause guess what? I ain't even gonna leave you no message. If you really done rub me that way, you really done rub me the wrong way, and I'm just throwing up the deuces. I ain't even gonna leave no comment. I'm just gonna unsubscribe. I unsubscribed to the messy sweet spot, still popping up on my timeline. But I unsubscribed to the messy sweet spot. Why? Because I really honestly legit saw that it's solely about a bag. It's pure like you see how the content is constantly coming out. Mess on top of 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 mess. It's just constantly, it's just baby, I don't know how mentally they do it. I don't I don't I don't know how they do it. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot of mess. And to be popping out video after video after video after video, be sitting up there editing, like to live in that reality, child, I would burn out completely so fast. I couldn't do it. Better you than me, sis. It's a lot for me just to see all the videos. Just having to edit that and to have to hear them lines over and over and over again and to have to hear that mess. Cause when you editing, you have to run it back. You have to hear it again. You have to hear it again. You have to chop it in just the right spot. You got to hear this person say this about 10 times. You got to hear this person say this about 10 times. And so you just constantly hearing mess. You constantly hearing mess and drama in order to get your edit right. And you literally are living on that frequency. Thank you, sister. You literally are key. You literally stand on that frequency. I can't do it. You really be blessing me. I love that so much. Thank you. Come on, $10 super chat. $9.99.99. Wait, yeah, $9.99. I said too many nines, huh? She worn out, boosting up frauds. I mean, that just seemed exhausting. I had to unsubscribe. I cannot. Like, it was just like, and when I unsubscribed, I didn't leave no message. I ain't go on the page and say nothing. I made a little comment. You know what I'm saying? I made a little comment on a video before I did. Okay, get it's not much, but get enough to get some vegetables. Well, you know they don't let you get the check or they don't let you cash the money out until you reach a certain thing. So by the time so what they're gonna do is they're just gonna keep on adding it up until it's big enough to give me a cute little check. So, you know, the little coins is adding up. I saw them. I was looking at the little amount today. I was like, okay, girl, you have your little check in a minute, girl. But yeah, you know, so that's where I'm at with it. You know, like I'm gonna say some things that I agree, very negative energy, gossiping is a sin. And don't get me wrong, we all like our little dose of mess. But to live on that frequency, and you know, that's why I have to take my days away from the internet because because s- s- up in here, shit don't be clicking right. I start getting anxiety. When I entertain too much mess, I start getting anxiety. I I literally just said that I like a little mess every now and then. I'm human. I'm having a human experience, of course. I entertain some mess. No one said that I don't like it at all. I just can't live on that frequency. I can't live on that frequency. I'm whole. Yes, I like to dance on the dark side. I like to have a moment. But when I entertain it for too long, I start to get anxiety. I start to it messes with me mentally. Thank you, Sonia. That child done had about 6 different channels with different personalities. She probably only feels at peace in front of a phone or computer. Mm. 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 Cause they've been at it for a while. They so used to it now. They probably need it, huh? I'm trying to figure out what is Alenia talking about. Do you know what Alenia talking about? Do you know what Alina is talking about? Cause I didn't get that comment. Did you get that? Yeah, that's probably all they know. That's probably all they, and so and I mean, like, don't get me wrong, with all this stuff that's been going on with Wiley and with Wiley and Storm Monroe, and you didn't get it either. Okay. With Wiley and Storm Monroe and Tasha K, Sean Davy Wade. Child, I be getting into that mess. But I haven't really, like, I've never really gotten into Wiley. Like, I've listened to clips of Wiley videos. I've never been able to watch more than 10 minutes of Wiley. Like, I could sit and listen to him for about 5 minutes, then I'd be like, okay, girl. And with Sean Davy Wade, like, he's very entertaining. Like, his voice is entertaining and he's funny, but I can only do so much. Now, what did she say that time? She said, "Why you always mad at me?" I think it's be it's not about being mad at you because I'm not deleting your comments. My moderator is deleting your comments, and I'm not mad at her for deleting them because you are saying some weird stuff. And so it's the energy that you bring into the comment section because it's like you're not how your brain is working. It's like it's like you're hearing what you want to hear and you're not hearing what's being said. And so I've never denied that I will entertain some mess and that I will eat a greasy pork chop. I literally said I cannot live on that frequency. And then you came back and said, but you was on that T.S. Madison mess. First of all, when I said what I said to T.S., when I said what I said about T.S. Madison, it was a critique. It was a critique. I didn't get in the mess with T.S. Madison because I just felt like being messy. Like, I was being mischievous and I was, you know what? We ain't gonna dress it up. I was being messy. I was entertaining some mess. But I was entertaining some mess for a reason because she said something and I felt like she was trying to erase the trans community. The last time I spoke on her before that was when she talked about Tasha K children. Every time I've interjected myself into a conversation, it was because it was principles that I wanted to stand on and principles that I wanted to defend. I don't get in every conversation. I don't, it's, I read it 100% pure love comments. I don't entertain everything when something, and I've said this before, and I'm gonna say this again for our Vap It Up Toots people. Um, T.S. Madison is often used as the being to divide black trans women and women who were born with wombs, women who were born with vaginas. They often use T.S. Madison as the being to say, this is how all trans women are. They don't like us. They want to be like us. They use her. The machine uses her. The algorithm uses her. They use her content. They use her brand. They use her image. They use her likeness to feed, to fuel division between beings who were born with vaginas and trans women, beings who identify as women that were born with vaginas and trans women. And because she is often used in that way, because I don't want women of any kind who subscribe to my platform to think that I condone some of the things that are being said, or to mistake my silence as being complicit or compliant. And so that's why I'm vocal, because I don't want my silence to be confused as, oh, you must think the same way. Oh, you must be like that too. So I'm vocal so that you don't mistake it for me being compliant. So you don't mistake it for me being complicit. That's why I'm vocal. That's why. I don't just speak just for the sake of speaking. I don't just get in mess because I'm bored and I feel like being messy. Although, hey, but karma come with that. Karma come even if you ain't, like, you still gotta pay, you know. And the crazy thing is, she was she's T.S. Tyler Perry. Oh my goodness. And you know, Alina, the white girl, she's come on this page every day. She said this thing had the audacity to say that I didn't like her. Like the first day she came on here, she was saying she was trying to get me because she was saying she was saying some colorist things, like talking about how she have to eat and wear braids to get black boys' attention, and like she was saying little things to try, because she wanted me to feed into that, and I didn't feed into it. I laughed, but she was really, really, you know, trying to, let us know that she could pull the black boys and that she gets the black boys. Okay, girl, that's good for you, girl. I'm happy for you, girl. Get you some black dick, girl. I'm not mad about no white girl. I'll never be mad about no Caucasian girl getting no black dick. To be honest with you, I don't have no problem with biracial children. I wish we all could have some melanin, baby. I pray for the day that we all get some color in our cheeks. I'm not I'm not messed up about, you being with black boys. I'm not messed up about. I used to. I'm not gonna lie. I used to get on that train and be like, leave our men alone, and I used to be like, oh, he with that white girl. I did used to be that. I was brainwashed, but I'm in a different space now, and I understand that melanin has the power to heal. And Caucasian people have melanin, but they don't have a lot of melanin. And melanin has a healing power. And so, I want all of our siblings to be able to withstand that sun when it start burning, honey, when it start beating down, honey. So, baby, I'm not, as long as you ain't out here doing get out, and long as you ain't out here stealing black people organs and harming black people in order to get melanin, and it's a willing two consenting adults, and y'all, whatever it was consensual, then hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for y'all getting together. Long as it ain't no rape, as long as it ain't, you ain't mistreating people. Hey, if it's two consenting adults, go for what you know. I ain't got no problem with that. But I ain't gonna lie. Back in the G, I was a girl. Why she with that? Well, I was, baby. That's our men. Why they with our? Why they with our? Oh, he with so and so, and he with that white girl. And I did used to give that. I did, but bitch, I'm happy for you now. I celebrate you. If you like it, I love it. Good for you. But then she came back the next night and she said, why you don't never wear no makeup or do your hair? And that was when it really had rubbed me the wrong way. That was when I started sidewaying her when she made that comment. When she made that comment and she said, when she made that comment and she said that. I really honestly want racism to end though. And racism is not going to end with us constantly taking the race bait. Cause that's what they doing now. They promoting all of these narratives where black people being murdered and killed, and we just not being realistic. If you think that white people, if you think Caucasian people ain't being beat and killed and murdered too, as a trans person, I know what it feels like to have your narrative suppressed in order to feed an agenda. There are some black people who sit up here and say, you can't compare the trans movement to the black movement. Sure, you talking about slavery, some stuff that happened that you wasn't alive for. But as a trans person, I've lived to see my sisters be killed and had umbrellas and broomsticks shoved up their ass and was found in dumpsters. I've been inside a prison cell where I had to hide under a mat while feces and piss was being slung on us because we didn't feel like sucking dick. I've had ice picks put to my head because I didn't feel like sucking dick. I've had my cells popped so men could come in my cell and rape me. I've had police guards and deputies to make me take off my clothes so they could look at my body. I've had police officers to force me to suck their dick. So you don't get to tell me that I don't know what it feels like and I can't compare my experience to slavery. You don't you can't you haven't lived in my shoes. You haven't been through what I've been through. So you don't have the right to tell me that I can't compare my experience to slavery. A lot of people who tell you that you can't compare them, they ain't been through half of the things that I've been through. You going to places and you're trying to get clean from drugs, and you got to worry about being robbed, and you got people talking down to you, telling you going to hell, telling you're abomination, telling you demonic, and then as soon as you close your eyes, one of them trying to slide in your ass and steal your jewelry. There was a time when we was being killed and they wouldn't even cover it. They wouldn't even talk about it. We would just go missing. There was no press, there was no news, there was no report, there was no story. You just never saw them again. They could kill us and not even put it in the paper, not even publish it. Then if they did say something, they'll say black man, black male. Then they'll bury us in a suit knowing we didn't live our life like that. You can't tell me what the fuck I can't compare my narrative to. Going to the DMV and I like to show up a certain way, I like to dress a certain way, and you telling me like they used to make the black women keep their head tied and keep their headscarf on because they didn't want to see their hair. They tell us you can't wear no makeup. You can't wear no you if it's your real hair and it's long, you have to pull it back in a ponytail to make yourself look masculine. You can't wear your real hair down. You have to pull it off your face so that you can look more masculine to them. Type of shit is that? So you can't tell me not to compare my experience to slavery because you don't know what I've been through because you never had to walk in my shoes, dodging bricks and bottles, having guns pulled on me, being forced to have sex with men against my will. You can't tell me what I've been through. I can't compare to slavery. I survived abuse so much so before I even left the house. I survived being shot in my face, left for dead, raped. So much I walked through. Wow. They don't want to talk about male rape in depth. They don't. I definitely see the connections to slavery. I appreciate you explaining it, but ignore ignore such blind or misguided people. Mm-hmm. 100%. And this is the thing. Like that was just a part of the journey. Like when I was in my 20s, I went to jail all the time simply because I was trans. We was a easy arrest. We could be out on the streets chilling, minding our business. Sometimes I wasn't even prostitute. I was just out chilling. They literally would lock me up and throw me in jail for weeks at a time. Just pick me up. Say I was prostituting. Bam, I'm in jail. Slavery. Then when you in jail, you on the bottom of the totem pole because you trans and queer. It's a pecking system. We literally, the police could just roll up on you and put you in their car. In the 90s, in the early 2000s, 2001, 2000, they could just roll up on you and put you in their car. No questions asked. They knew you couldn't afford no lawyer. Who the judge was gonna believe? You're an abomination. You ain't got no words. You ain't got no credibility. Who are you? So when people say you can't make the comparison, I beg to differ. I beg to differ. It's because it's the wrong people that are telling the story. I beg to. It was unreal. You literally, they could just walk. They could just roll up on you, and if you were obviously trans, if you were obviously queer, you had no ground to stand on. You had no credibility. You had no word. You were assumed to have no integrity. Bam, you gone. You gone just like that. They could beat you. They could do whatever they wanted to do to you, and nothing was going to happen. And so when I know, and all of that was suppressed. All of that was suppressed. And that's why a lot of black people can so easily say that you can't compare it to slavery. That's why a lot of black people can so easily say that. You can't compare it to slavery because they don't know, because a lot of things have been suppressed. And I I just don't believe that a people who came over here and was saying, give me liberty or give me death, a people who came over here and a lot of them died in the winter. They had to fight against Britain. They had to fight all of these wars. The Caucasian people are hard on each other, but they paint this narrative that is kumbaya over there. But let's be clear. If they can't perform whiteness at a certain level or a certain capacity, and if they're and just like we've seen examples time and time again, when black and whites tried to unite, and we saw they treated them white people the same way they treated them black folks. Them freedom fighters, them freedom riders, they treated them white folks the same way they treated them black folks. If you don't take your fake privilege and go sit your pink ass down somewhere, you can get it too. And you'll get it worse. Them white folks that was helping Harriet Tubman on the Underground Railroad, they got it too. If you don't take your pink behind over here and sit down and get this privilege and be the only way you gonna get this privilege is if you keep your head down and you do as you told. But the moment you get too big for your britches, we gonna do you worse than we doing these Negroes. I have seen examples of Caucasian people who could not perform whiteness, and I've seen how whiteness abandons them. I am from New Orleans. I've seen when white people go and get tatted up and go and get goals in their mouth and have tattoos all over their body and have goals in their mouth, and all they hang around is black people, and so they all they hang around is the hood. Let me be clear, because black people are not a monolith, but all they hang around is the hood areas of the black community. I have seen how those white people get rejected. Now, white people, now the white, they'll use them while they're young, while they have their youth. They might could get a little sugar daddy. They might could they might could dance on a table for some gay men for a few dollars. But once that youth is spent, go die in a corner somewhere. We don't have nothing for you. We don't have no resources for you. Oh, the gay community will use you. You can get you a little sugar daddy. You could dance on the table or something. But once your youth is spent, Go die in a corner, because we don't have no use for you over here in whiteness. We can't do nothing with you. You done tattooed up your body, you got goals in your mouth, you sound like them hood Negroes. We can't do nothing with that. We don't want you representing us no will. Yeah, they know how ruthless they folks are. If you cannot perform whiteness at the level, at a high level, they will steamroll over you and throw you away. They'll throw them away too. And I'm tired of pretending that that's not a reality. I'm so sick of talking about white privilege. Like they all just automatically have privilege and they don't have to do anything to get it but be white. They don't have to do anything to get it but be Caucasian. That is not true. That's not true. They got a code switch. They got to present a certain way. They got to talk a certain way. They got to act a certain way. They gotta know when to keep their head down. They gotta know when to be quiet. They can't just take up space and they can't be rooting for black people and talking about black liberation all the time. They can't be too rooted. They can't be too socially conscious. They can't be too socially present. There's a whole bunch of things that activate white privilege. And there's not enough people that are willing to have that conversation. We just say, oh, you got white privilege. Oh, you got white privilege. You got white privilege if you act like a Karen. You got white privilege if you perform in the way. You got white privilege if you keep your mouth shut and you keep your head down and you do what you're told. Miss me with the bullshit. Especially if the gingerbread is lacking. Yes, they throw them away. Exactly. Yes, and don't let them have addiction issues. Okay. You see, now look at that little 20-year-old Caucasian boy. 20 years old. Baby, you can't tell me they ain't set that boy up. And I was reading the comments in the comment section of how Sonia Massey got killed, and they said the police was surrounding her house. They said it was about 20 of them outside. And none of them tried to put him in handcuffs. And I think you said that, Aaron. That's why, um, that's why she probably called the police in the first place, because they had them outside. The whole thing is giving sus. And so, because I'm honest enough to have this conversation, people want to make me seem like it's something wrong with me. Because I don't want to just get on here and spin that black against white narrative and racism and that we know it's racist in the world. The white boy mama and daddy was psychologists. Yeah, that, but you know the story had to be sad. it had to be said. That's why they amplified that story. But it's so many holes in that story. It's so many inconsistencies in that story. And that's all I want people to see. That babe that tried to unalive the, yeah, yeah. And I think somebody put cookies in his head. That was a baby. He wasn't even 21. And I'm not supposed to have no sympathy for that. I'm not supposed to have no compassion for that. I'm just supposed to be concerned about the black people. The black people who are oftentimes not concerned about me. There are black people right now who would say, like, if this video got 200,000 views, it would be black people in the comment section calling me an abomination, telling me I was going to hell, telling me to go kill myself, telling me I sound delusional, telling me I sound crazy. If this video had 2 or 3,000 views, it would be black people in the comment section on a video that don't have nothing to do with this topic. That's a man. Go kill yourself. You confused. Something wrong with you. You need Jesus. Fix. I've had it. They've done it to me. And these are the black people that you want me to defend solely. You don't want me to defend nobody else but them. Because they deserve it. They deserve that. Child, cut it out. We need to stop thinking that people are great because they have these titles and degrees. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Stop exalting these classes and these elitists over us and start thinking for ourselves and not being afraid to play the whole tape and to have these important conversations. And we're not gonna always agree. Sometimes we gonna rub each other the wrong way. Sometimes I'm gonna say things that people don't agree with. But having the emotional maturity, having the intellectual maturity and the bandwidth to be able to say, you know what, Kaneen, I wanna offer some pushback. And so here's what I think. And then let's hear each other. And at the end of the conversation, we may agree to disagree, but we could at least be thoughtful of each other's stance and be respectful of each other's stance and be sensitive to each other's feelings about certain issues. I can't be sensitive to your issues if you have not communicated to me how you feel in a thoughtful way. I can't even be sensitive to your issues. Because if you come to me fucked up, then guess how I'm going to respond. Period. Yes, I said that about Miss Netta. She said the right thing, and I mean everyone who could take a dig did. And I honestly feel like Netta just did not have the vocabulary to properly express what she was trying to say. Cause I definitely don't think that Netta hate black people. I definitely, Netta love black people. The way she cook, all the people she surround herself with. You ain't never seen Netta with no white people. Netta love black people. It's just where she come from, where they come from. You rose to a big height of fame, and you was not vocally prepared for the fame, and they ate you up like a piece of meat dropped on an ant's bed somebody done kicked. It was like somebody had dropped a chicken leg on an ant pile and disturbed it, and they came out and ate her ass up. I don't think that that was Miss Netta's intention. I don't think Miss Netta's racist, and to see how people are wearing her out, and to see how people just doing her, it just came out wrong. Mm-hmm. The black people, I want you to. Ugh, I cried thinking about her today. She didn't stand a chance. He didn't go in there with empathy in his heart. It all escalated so quickly. I'm telling you, I do not feel in my heart that that was coincidental. I don't. There's always a backstory, and we, the public, are not privy to that backstory. We'll probably hear the backstory 5 years down the line after the election done been won and the term is over. Some more tea will probably come in. Like, I saw the scene, and just so much of it did not make sense. If that's the world we live in, we fucked everybody. And we talking about white privilege. Y'all privilege don't work unless y'all get in line and do as you're told. What power do you have? Cause how many how many how many Caucasian people um really care about black people and really care about us? Why don't those Caucasians have enough pull to make more difference if white privilege is really white privileging like that? Because again, Steve Harvey said it's the money game. When it get to a certain level, we down here arguing about racism and sexism and transphobia and homophobia. We arguing about that. These motherfuckers is arguing over wealth and access and resources and oil and gold and minerals, and that ain't got nothing to do with how you look. That's got everything to do with your lineage and your bloodline and how much money your ancestors were able to maintain in the face of colonialism, in the face of imperialism, in the face of fascism, in the face of capitalism. How much money do your family have? How much wealth and resources does your family have? How wealthy is your bloodline? How many acquisitions and mergers and hedge funds do you have control and power over? This ain't no hive mindset, right? It's about respect. Adults communicate and use their words. Rest well, Sonia. Ashe, they already waiting to go in. They was already waiting to go in on Miss Netta. Yes, they was. It was like a chicken leg fell in the ant pile. They tried to cover it up and say she committed suicide. Chill. And it did not. That's why they forced the video to be released. You're right. It probably will. That's when we gonna get the rest of the tea. That's when we gonna get the rest of the tea 5 years later. Doing so. would put them out the clique. They would be cash rules everything around me. Cream, Mr. Money, dollar bill, y'all. You ain't lying, baby. That's why when they be talking about, I was talking to a Caucasian friend that I got, and he was like, he was like, because white privilege, and he was like, because I do have white privilege, and I was like, okay, calm down. It's that motherfucker was like, that motherfucker was like, because I do have white. He got excited. He was like, because I do have white privilege. I was like, okay, baby, yes, you do. You have white privilege. Yes, baby. You got white. It's okay, baby. You got white privilege if you know how to act when the police come. If you know how to act when you in certain spaces. Yeah, you got white privilege on the contingency of. But let me tell you something. If white privilege was just based on skin complexion, if cause I've had white people to tell, like I said, if white privilege was really white privilege, when them freedom fighters was fighting and they was standing with them black people, they would have said, um, okay, y'all white, we not gonna hold y'all. We not gonna punch y'all in y'all face. We not gonna sick the dogs on y'all. We gonna grab y'all and pull y'all out the way, and then we gonna hose them. Then we gonna sick the dogs on them. Then we gonna beat them. If white privilege was really, it was just uninhibited. It's an absolute. It's not on the contingency of anything. When they was on that Underground Railroad, the white folk would have been able to be like, okay, when they found out who was helping Harriet Tubman, they would have been like, okay, you're white. We're going to give you a pass. It's okay because you're white. Okay? Don't do that next. Okay? You were helping those Negroes. Don't do that again. Okay? You're white. We're going to let you slide. Okay? That's not what they did. They killed them. They sicked the dogs on them. They beat them. They said, you want to act like these niggas? You going to get treated like these niggas. That lets you know white privilege wasn't white privileging. White privilege is on a contingency. And so the next time somebody talks to you about white privilege, you let them know that your white privilege is based on if you do A, B, and C. Your white privilege comes with stipulations. Read the fine print. Your white privilege has fine print, boo. Let's be clear. Stop giving them all that grace and going along with this idea that just because they white, yeah, that might get you through the door. That might get you a moment of grace. But if all of the dots is not connecting, the T's not crossing, your white privilege is null and void, Buki. I know too many Caucasian people who forfeited their white privilege. Here, I'm gonna tell a little bit of this story and I'm gonna get off. I know a white trans person was a white trans girl. She killed a black boy, chopped him up, put him in a cooler in her backyard, had pieces of his body in coolers in the backyard. When she got ready to go to jail, the family was well known in the city that she came from. The family was so respected. They had a street named after them. They told her, she was in jail doing time. They told her, they said, if you want us to get you out of jail, you need to stop. You need to come up out of, you need to present as a man. You need to give your life to God and present as a man. You need to get married to a woman, and then we'll get you out of this. We'll get a lawyer and get you out of this. They had to get out of drag. They had to stop dressing as a woman. They had to stop presenting as a woman. They had to start using their male name. They had to rejoin the church, and they had to marry a woman. Now, if white privilege was white privileging, why you got to do all that? You're white, your skin white. You got to rejoin the church, give up the woman part of yourself, and marry a woman for your family to come get you out of jail. Cause the white skin wasn't getting it alone. Read the fine print. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You gotta read the fine print, baby. And I knew her. I was not there when the murder happened, but I knew close friends who knew. And I've also talked to the person since they got out. Obviously, we're not close anymore. We haven't been close in years. Um, from what I heard, he was violent and he was beating on her, which is the justification. It's a little extreme for me. I'm not finna go into all of that in this video, but like I said, there's fine print. And this is not a made up story. This is a true story. Very true story. And I'm not naming no names because it's not my place, but it is a true story. So it's fine print in the contract. That's the bottom line. I love how this is giving me a moonlight tease. But let me get ready to take my ass to bed. Oh my god. Oh. And I just want to let y'all know that if you coming on this page, this channel, and you expecting for me to go along to get along, and you to expect for me to give that everything, everything that I know that wore you out, didn't it? That story. Uh, you expecting for me to say I'm rooting for everything that's black, and I'm rooting for everything that's trans, and I'm rooting for everything that's queer, and you expect for me to be one of them type of advocates, you ain't about to get that from me. Rest well. I love you and appreciate you so much. Love. Thank you, Fly God. I love you too. I love you too. So we didn't light a candle the last time. We lit a candle in the first video, but we just gonna light one candle in this video. We gonna light a candle for the subscribers that's staying, and we gonna light a candle for the subscribers that's leaving. Ooh-wee. And this candle is also lit for the three black males who were shot by the police. Um because you know that happened. We wanna honor them. Um and just ask that their souls, I don't like to say RIP, I like to say DIPP. And so DIPP, dip, and that's dwell in purpose and power. Dip. Dip. When I walk through, when I walk through, when I walk through, dip. Yeah. So dwell in purpose and power. Down that I say cool, keep spinning and turning. Iangani, Iyanko, Kalukalo, which means I am a child of God Goddess. And if I am, you know you are. Bounding round both circle and square, we too speak life, so operations beware. Sending healing to those in despair. Il Babosawa. We come in peace, no harm to any. Lelim Leler. Good night to you, sister. KS. I don't know if you're a sister or not. So I probably shouldn't have said that because I don't just like to give people pronouns. But they, them, a shout out to 100% Pure Love for doing an amazing job moderating as always. Um, and I got a comment from from Faith. Faith gonna feel away because Faith missed this live too. But anyway, I love y'all and thank you so much for your unwavering support. Thank you for not being no fickle, flaky, fake bitches and niggas and people and humans. Thank you. Thank you for your loyalty. Purple ones, rise up. Okay, to go my purple hearts. Love y'all. Good night.